Hey guys, welcome to the Underworld Games YouTube channel for some Pokemon trading card game content. So today we have our locals games. We have got Seb on the right and myself on the left. This is a locals where Stellar Crown is legal, still in pre-release at the moment, so a lot of the decks probably look very similar to what they are in this format because not many people have access to a lot of the cards. So I'm starting off playing Charizard. I'm definitely not a Charizard player, probably played this horribly. I'm a little bit gutted as we did miss out on some of the other games. The first game that recorded, the video was corrupted, and the last game, my phone ran out of space for recording, so I do apologise. Only one game, and not super duper interesting as we don't get all the shiny new Stellar Crown decks in there. So yes, I had a bit of a dilemma with this opening turn, as I just had 3 Ultra Balls in hand and a lot of good cards I didn't really want to get rid of early on. So I think I ended up going for an Ultra Ball away, another Ultra Ball and a Night Stretcher, just to get out a Pidgey. So not the hottest start for this Charizard EX deck, but I felt sort of getting out the Pidgey was probably the best bet, as that allowed you to go into other cards. Eventually, once you get your Pidgeot on board, you can get other cards up and going. So just passing over to Seb. They've got everything they need in their hand for pretty stellar turn 1. So they're going to Nest Ball. Not sure what they're going to eye, but probably end up eyeing up that Radiant Greninja just as some extra draws. They've got 3 energy in hand. Want to start getting those into the discard, into the bin straight away, just to start taking some big knockouts later on in the game. So normally this matchup is favoured for Charizard just because of weakness, and normally Charizard plays at least 1 vacuum and so is able to take some additional knockouts, whereas Gardevoir often has to rely on their attackers using Bravery Charm or other hit point buffing tools to be able to hit those 1-hit KO knockouts. But obviously Seb has played an Arvid, a supporter card that lets you search out a tool and an item. They've opted for Buddy Buddy Poffin and the tool TM Evolution, and oh my gosh, this as a Guardi player, this is just one of the just classic and just very nice starts. Being able to get an Arvid going turn 2, I believe Seb won the Quadruple and they opted to go second, which I think is correct in this matchup. Yeah, straight on attaching that TM Evolution and the energy there, and probably going to evolve these 2 Rolls straight away. So yeah, going for TM Evo to evolve the 2 Rolls into Curlier. And there we go. So over to me. So drawing onto my turn. So I do have Ultra Balls, so Ultra Balling away the Duskull and the Dusclops. So I opted not to bench the Duskull last turn just because I knew I needed some cards to discard, and I knew if I drew into a really good card that I wanted to hold on, I wanted the option to be able to discard it. Duskull and Dusclops are really good. So Dusknoir and Dusclops are really good in this matchup, as they just let you take additional matchups to really take out Gardevoir's engine. So yeah, so I just need a hand for a refresh. I only have 1 card in hand, so I just want to draw back up, giving Seb a extra couple of cards just to be able to carry on with this. So we've done a quick search. We do get 1 Charmander, we'd like at least 2, as that Screamtail is eyeing up my 1 Charmander there. And again, looks like Seb's just got everything they need to be able to really get on with this game. Again, normally this is favoured on the Gardevoir side, on the Charizard side, but what Gardevoir can sometimes do is they can, again, if you just run hot, in this case, just get really aggressive, take some knockouts early on. You can just run over the Charizard player. It doesn't matter if they take 2 prizes, as long as you can avoid that 3-turn nightmare scenario. You can end up with some pretty good. But yeah, again, perfect turn for Seb here, able to evolve into the Guardi EX and immediately start accelerating energy to this Scream Tail to be able to do more damage. Getting rid of Count Catcher. That's fair. Oh, and that's really good. Looks like they've got an Urban Vessel. They can get even more energy in hand. Probably worth holding on to that for this turn. And waiting for the next turn to be able to use that. As I could end up playing an Iono on my turn and causing them to shuffle back into the deck. But also what this could allow them to do is they have an attached return this turn. They could use that Urban Vessel to get Dark Energy to attach this to attach to this Monkey Dory. Which would be really good to be able to get that attachment on, but they are opting not to play the vessel. Again, just thinking about it now, it probably may be a bit of a misplay. Maybe should have attached, because again they haven't attached to anything else. So maybe should have played the Urban Vessel and attach that energy off the prizes for Seb. That's really good. So I'm going to counter catcher up the Greninja and going to Iono. So playing that card out of my hand, going to make it a little bit more awkward for Seb, as they're going to either have to find a Turo or an energy next turn to be able to sort of get out of this situation. So yeah, and it was quite nice that I had the Iono straight in hand, so I didn't have to use Quick Search, so I've still got Quick Search as well as other things to be able to do. So we're going to flip the script first before we play the Buddy Buddy Coffin, just in case we draw into any basics, and then we can use our Buddy Buddy Coffin for other basics. Also, those cards we shuffle at the bottom, we don't want to be drawing back into them, so best to save the Buddy Buddy Coffin until after have flipped the script there. So yeah, definitely eyeing up that Charmander. Lucky for me, Seb's probably one boss is on the bottom of the deck, as most Gardevoir lists play 3 forms of Gust, which is usually 1 boss and 2 counter catcher. I've been enjoying playing 2 boss, 1 counter catcher in some more aggressive lists of Gardevoir, but I think that is a bit more of a meme than anything else. So I probably want to just get maybe just another Buddy Buddy Coffin. Oh, but instead I opt for that Super Rod again. Really strong to be able to get out this Dusclops and Duskmont into deck. So shuffling those straight in. Shuffle goes straight in, and yeah. What's the plan here? Jonathan? What are we going to do? But yeah, we've got 2 Charmander on board. There isn't really a way for Seb to knock out both at the same time. You can do some funky plays if they had their Monkey Dory sort of charged up. You can do some funky plays where you could bench the second Dory, go in with a Flutter Mane, and and take out 2 knockouts, because you can put 60 onto the bench with 2 Adrena Brains, and then put 10 with the attack from Flutter Mane, and knocking out the active Pokemon as well. So that could be another way to kind of really oppress on board. But in this case, as they are head on prizes, they have to find the boss to be able to Gust, and they can't both Gust, get this Greninja out of the active, and attach to the Monkey Dory. So I think last turn, bit of the misplay, not just going aggressively playing down that vessel to put down the extra energy onto Monkey Dory. So it looks like they are opting for the Drifloon. Again, I think they probably want to they're attached to the Monkey Dory, but I think they are just thinking, oh, I need to retreat this Greninja first. So I think what they're wanting to do is take maybe an aggressive knockout with Drifloon this turn, as they can't take a knockout with the Gardevoir or another attacker, and you probably don't want to be going directly in with Gardevoir in this game. You want to go in with one of your safer attackers, because again, that 2 prize liability in Gardevoir. So using the refinement to get into some more cards. So they do have an Iono in hand, so they could search for that Bravery Charm, but they do have Unfair Stamp in this hand, which could be really good to disrupt me next turn if I'm able to get a knockout. Which I probably will, as I've got Pidgeot on board, and Pidgeot is so efficient in getting you into that Charizard. So again, it looks like they have missed the Bravery Charm, so they won't be able to take a knockout on this Vesinifity. But what this does allow them to do is go for 180 and then clean up later with an Adrena Brain. Can possibly take up to a 4 prize turn with a play like that. And this is just what makes Gardevoir such an incredible deck, being able to have all these options to be able to disrupt your opponent with unfair stamp, hold off on taking sort of aggressive knockouts, leave a Pokemon with only 30 HP, take a knockout with an Adrena Brain on a future turn. And again, if I hadn't played that counter catcher, would have been able to do that this turn, being able to go into Drifloon, get a Dark Energy on Munkidori to Adrena Brain. So again, a little bit of the misplay earlier sort of led to giving me a little bit of a chance in this game. So that's 180 onto the Pheasantipede with that Balloon Burst attack. Does an extra 30 for each damage counter on this Drifloon. We haven't put any damage around the Drifloon, but we're both aware that there's 60 damage on the Drifloon, as Gardevoir does put 2 damage counters on for each energy accelerated. So I'm going to start with a quick search. Probably going to try and get this Charizard on board. Again, really scary situation for me. It looks like I already have. Oh, so it looks like I'm opting to go for Charmander. Looks like I had off that Iono. Looks like I had the Charizard Raw there, so I'm going to attach 2 energy, and it looks like I had a Turo in hand, so I'm just going to Turo up this Pheasantipede, which is kind of just, again, just an amazing sort of way. So I think what I'd like to have done here instead is maybe have played the Turo first, then use the Buddy Buddy Poffin, because what this could allow me to do is search out 2 basics, because that would have thinned the deck out a little bit. And then it doesn't matter that I don't have a space to put down the Pheasantipede for a future turn, because I can just use the Curse Bomb, Curse Blast, to be able to take get another space for it on a future turn. So just going to take out a knockout with my first prize of the game. Seb is on 5 prizes, I believe, and I'm on 5 prizes as well, so we're now equal on prizes this turn. So what is Seb going to opt to do this turn? Doesn't look like they've got much in hand, so they're going to promote the Gardevoir. So they're probably going to again attack in with Screamtail this turn. I think that's probably their plan. So they're playing that Earthen Vessel. I think that's their second Earthen Vessel of the game, to get out their last Psychic, what it looks like, and Dark Energy attached to the Munkidori. Yep, there we go. Attached to the Munkidori, and Refinement or Concealed Cards, probably the better bet. This last energy to be able to draw in red. Ooh, they've got 1 more energy in deck, so it'll be hard to maybe boss trap up this Radiant Greninja, but again, it doesn't really serve Charizard much help. And as we've seen, Seb does draw into the Bravery Charm, sort of adding a little bit of insult to injury. Oh, sorry for the knock there. So probably would have liked to have seen that last turn, taken that knockout. And again, only 3 prizes left, giving you such a dominant position. Can give you access to getting out another Charizard in the future, another Drifloon to knock out a Charizard in the future turn. So I think we're having a debate here of how much damage a Screamtail would be able to do. Or I think Seb is, or I know we definitely do have a conversation a little bit later of how much damage a Screamtail could do, and if it could knock out if it could knock out this Pidgeot EX on the board, on the bench. And so I think we determined that it sort of caps off at 240, as Bravery Charm takes up Screamtail up to 90 HP up to 140 HP, so you can get 120 damage counters on there with the Psychic Embrace ability, so it does 240. But a neat little play that you can do, so a little fun thing, is you can take 1 damage counter off, or you can take 3. It just require 1 extra energy, but you can take 1 damage counter off one of your attackers to be able to put that extra damage counter, as it is an even number. The Bravery Charm gives it an even number of hit points, so you can leave it with 10. So you can pop a 10 on something like maybe this Manatee to be able to set out maybe a double Adrena Brain on a future turn. yeah, set up a double Adrena Brain on a future turn to be able to take a knockout. And yeah, to double Adrena Brain on another turn to take a knockout on the Manatee, and then that allows Screamdale to do 260, which means you can clean it up with a Monkey Dory Adrena Brain on a future turn. And so I think we're discussing, we'll have the discussion in a minute, sort of about that. But yeah, I think really going for it. And there's two Bravery Charms and the boss, so probably going to boss up that Pidgeot. Looks like they're eyeing up Pidgeot for boss to be able to boss up. And looks like they're counting up their energy, really thinking for their turn, making sure they don't make any misplays, making sure they've got all their. So yeah, good as I can embrace 2. Retreat, this Gardevoir, putting some energy on board for Monkey Dory to be able to take a knockout. And again, just debating whether it's worth or just something. So yes, this is where we have that conversation about, how much can do. I think Sepad was a little bit confused as now, thought it could do a little bit more, thought it could do the 280 with the Bravery Charm, but unfortunately it can't. Interestingly enough, some of the early lists, like before the French kind of figured out Gardevoir, and before obviously it got so big at NAIC, there were some lists that were playing the ancient booster capsule, and what that did is it gave it an extra 60 HP, so again it allowed you to, again that odd number allowed you to sort of natively go up to 260, and then with an Adrena Brain you'd be able to do something like that. So yeah, so putting on an extra 4 to put us up to 120 damage, which will be enough to do 260 onto this Pidgeot if they boss it up. So they're really going for it, but yeah, I think that is going to be the play this turn, because if they can knock out a Pidgeot next turn, it really puts me in a bit of a dire situation. Won't be able to respond. So yeah, bossing up the Pidgeot. They're going to Adrena Brain, so it looks like they are going to go for that play. Adrena Braining the 1, so they can get up to 130 to be able to do the 260. Sorry, I said it could do 260 before, but yeah, Adrena Braining the 1 up to be able to do the 240, 260. So yeah, they're debating where to put it on. Again, I'd personally probably put it on the Manatee, because that extra 10 damage isn't going to affect Pidgeot. So again, another thing you can do to clean up the Pidgeot is you can use something like Flutter Mane to be able to put 2 damage counters, but if we do the 260 here, it's still only 2 damage counters off. So I think it's always just better to put it on the Pidgeot. But yeah, just 10 short of a knockout there. I'm just getting the extra dice. 10 short of a knockout here. So again, not a super experienced Charizard player, so I do have to admit that this wasn't maybe the strongest turn I could have had, but I am able to do a couple of things. I think what you ideally want to do here is, my Pidgeot is only 10 HP off. I want to prevent them from being able to take a free knockout on the Pidgeot. So I think what I'd aim for, and again it's just a really dire situation, I think if Seb plays this right, this is pretty much checkmate, because I take sort of like, if I could do something like, I could they're down to 4 prizes, it can just again Adrena Brain once, Adrena Brain twice, they've got the Artisan on board, just need to find a Super Rod, be able to get back in the Drifloon, so maybe not quite checkmate, and then they can Adrena Brain 1 onto the Pidgeot, 1 onto the Charizard, take a 4 prize turn. I am getting ahead of myself, I don't want to spoil what sort of happens, but I think there is a couple of misplays, one on my side here, I think. So looks like I'm eyeing up a card, I'm not sure which one it is. I think probably going to go for, is Is that a candy? Oh, yeah, it's the Dusk Noir. Do all the candy up into Dusclops. Sorry, Dusk Noir. So I take 1 prize, they take 1 prize. So Seb is on 3 prizes, 4 prizes here. And yeah, so this Charizard list does play Prime Catcher, sort of fallen out of favour with a lot of the versions of the deck. Yeah, it's fallen out with a lot of versions of the deck, but this one, the list that I copied, did opt for the Prime Catcher as their A spec. This does give you a bit more mobility, allows you to sort of get out a bit easier versus something like a Rotom. Sorry, not a Rotom, a Snorlax Storm, and it's just an extra gust in your deck. I think most lists are opting for something like Unfair Stamp. I think that's sort of preferred. A couple of the new lists are going for their Grand Tree, so that allows you to evolve into the Pidgeot turn 1. Not a huge fan of the Grand Tree, as it's just there's so many stadiums, you just don't get much value out of it. Just the opportunity cost of being able to play other A-specs in Charizard, even something like Prime Catcher, which might not be the best fit, is just so powerful. I think Unfair Stamp is probably the most powerful in Charizard because it's just such a great. So again, here I've taken a free prize turn, you know. Every Gardevoir player's nightmare. I've played the Boffin, finned up Charmander in case Unfair Stamp or Iona goes here, because yeah, the sort of worst case scenario here is they're able to knock out my Pidgeot, and probably not going to be able to knock out anything else, as they don't have a Guardi EX on board to be able to do much else. So looks like they're eyeing up other trainers. So Seb is playing very interestingness. They are playing 1 candy, and I think I saw there was a lost vacuum in there. So 2 very interesting tech cards. So the candy does make a lot of sense. I've tested candy a little bit. Again, doesn't really get much use outside of maybe the Drago matchup, but the Drago matchup is just so horrible. Doesn't really make sense. But here, again, I think Seb does misplay. I think they're on 3 prizes, I want to say. I believe they're on 3 prizes, unless I've miscounted and they're on 4. But I think this is checkmate if they are on 3 prizes versus 4. If they are on, yeah, because if they are, they do have the counter catcher in hand, so they can play the counter catcher up one of these sort of low HP 1 prizes and take that out. Adrena Brain first onto the Pidgeot, take out. So yeah, it does look like they are debating claiming the counter catcher. But again, I can't remember. I'd have to watch back if they are on. So they took out knockout on the Charmander early. They've got on an extra 1 of Dusk Noir. I don't know if they took another knockout, because there was, yeah, I don't know if they did take a knockout. So so they might only just be on the 4. So yeah, so they're going to Adrena Brain, the last one, into active, and they do get. So sorry, I didn't have a deck, but they do have the vacuum. But yeah, but it does look like they do have 2 prizes. So okay, so that wasn't a misplay. I'm just looking at it. It's a bit hard to see with the white sleeves, but they couldn't have taken 2 prizes this turn. They couldn't have taken 2 prizes last turn. So we're fine. It wasn't a misplay, but maybe what could have been a good play is to have gotten up the Manaphy, gotten up the Manaphy, and then Iono down and hope I miss energy. I think that could have been another route out. Here again, getting ahead of myself, because I think probably how Seb is playing this is hoping that I don't play the vacuum, as I didn't show the vacuum earlier. And it's just going to swing in with Roaring Scream, and we have vacuum in hand to remove that tool. And yeah, that is just game, because they've only got 1 prize left. Oh, they played the double Drifloon. They had another Drifloon in prizes, 2 Drifloon, and they had the 2 super hard at the bottom. So again, really strong start from Seb there. And as I say, the one bribe was in my prizes, was the last card of my prizes, so I wasn't able to leverage that at any point to sort of swing the game earlier. So very much an old-fashioned game here. But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and hope you come back for some more Pokemon TCG content. Sorry, but there's only one video up this week. It is casuals next week, and I'm not going to be there, unfortunately. I'm playing some Magic the Gathering with friends, but maybe somebody else can record some games and we can get some more content on the channel. And do apologise for some of the videos last week. I was recording them quite late. I was quite tired, so the sound quality isn't quite the best on them. But happy for any feedback on the channel, on the style and content of the commentary that we have here. Not the best player in the world, so probably shouldn't be commenting on misplays and non-misplays, but there we go. So thank you for coming again. Do subscribe to the channel and pop around to the shop if you are in the Nottinghamshire area. We've got loads of Pokemon. There is a league challenge this Sunday. There was our cup last week.